Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife and welcome back to our Sunday videos. If you've been around here for a while, you know that Sundays are a little bit different here on our channel. Well, most of the time. And this is the day that we do things like cooking, we do things like recipes, we share our keto journey, our health journey, and it's been a little while since we have actually done a good old-fashioned like cooking recipe vlog. Well, today, that's exactly what we're gonna do, and I'm making something that, personally, I love. One of my very favorite breakfast meals. This recipe is keto, but it's delicious for anybody, and it's also really easy to make not keto. It's easy to adjust to whatever you like. Today, we are making chorizo and egg breakfast tacos. Now, a few years ago, I was in Austin, Texas for Austin City Limits, and I've heard of breakfast burritos, right? Those are super popular, but I don't think I'd ever heard of or certainly had breakfast tacos. While I was in Austin, I noticed everywhere we went had breakfast tacos. And so I tried them, and they were delicious. And I was like, what is this magical thing that I'm just now being introduced to? And they're also super easy to make. So that's what we're going to make today. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I am gonna make these a keto version. If you wanted to make something that wasn't keto, some things you could add potatoes, you could add beans, you could add whatever your heart desires. But let me show you the ingredients that I'm gonna use for today's chorizo and eggs breakfast tacos. Actually, keeping it pretty simple, we have these La Banderita, the carb counter tortillas. Both Auburn and I were actually just talking about this. We think the La Banderita carb tacos are the best of all of them. We've tried most of them that we can find at the store. These are the ones that I like the best, she likes the best for sure. And then we have our chorizo. I'm using a pork chorizo for this. We've got our queso fresco, our Mexican crumbly cheese that will go on top. I've got an avocado that I'm gonna cut up into some slices, some cilantro, some onion. I've got some fresh pico, eggs, and then I have like a green sauce. It's just a Serrano chili sauce that could go on top if you want to add a little bit of spice. But those are the ingredients we are going to need today. And these are actually pretty simple. There's only like two things that I'm going to need to cut up and prepare. That's the cilantro and the avocado. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first, and then we're gonna get our chorizo cooking. For whatever reason, I am absolute garbage when it comes to cutting cilantro. Cilantro, parsley, anything like that. I'm okay at cutting herbs and greens that you can like roll up and slice, but these, I'm just kind of terrible. I just sort of hack at them until they look about the right size. So if anybody has any tips on cutting these, let me know in the comments below. That would be super helpful, because what you're about to see, well, I apologize. So Auburn just came in the kitchen, and she was like, do you know how to do it? I'm like, well, no, I don't know how to do this. I really do. I just like hack at it until it's about the right size. She was like, you fold them. I don't know what that means. So she's gonna show me how to cut cilantro. God bless Auburn human, I will say that. Auburn just said that this is a thing you learn how to do when you work at Chipotle. Mm-hmm. Chipotle.
You fold in half, and if you can, you fold in thirds or quarters, but folding them into smaller, like bending it like this, makes it so much easier.
It's already so much easier than what I do.
See?
Okay.
It's so easy.
Now I feel like a moron for the way I've cut cilantro my whole life. Look at that.
It smells really good.
I love cilantro. We've talked about this in past vlogs where you and I have cooked together. We are both very pro cilantro, right?
I cannot get enough of it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
Like, if there's any left over, I'm putting it on my taco as like a salad first.
Oh, delicious.
Cilantro first, and then taco meat. And then you want to turn it like 90 degrees. So
okay.
you turn it this way.
And cut it this way?
Cut a couple of times in here just to get, you know, the big chunks.
Okay. Thanks, Auburn.
It's better, see?
It's way better. God bless Auburn, because she just saved you guys from watching me just like hack at cilantro for 5 minutes. So that was much better. All right, next onto the avocado, and I'm gonna try something Auburn and I were just talking about that we have both seen on TikTok. First, let me cut the avocado in half. Okay, so I just cut it in half, and actually the like avocado seed, the avocado nut is kind of coming apart. So I've never had that happen before, so I'm gonna have to peel that out. But if you've watched our vlogs before, we've talked about this. Normally what we do is you hit this, twist it, and it pulls the seed out. However, on TikTok, there's this thing where people push from the back and the seed pops out. I'm gonna be honest, I'm skeptical, but I'm gonna try it. Because Auburn's not a big avocado fan. Well,
that's a lie.
She is a big avocado fan. Avocados are not big Auburn fans. We'll put it that way. And so I really only need half of this. So if this doesn't work and I end up like maiming this, I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna try to push from the back and see if, well, I don't.
You're murdering it.
That didn't really work. I mean, the seed came out, but...
You stuck your big fat thumb in there.
Well, you kind of had to.
Don't push it back.
No, I'm not. Okay. I'm just gonna get a mushy avocado. This, in my opinion, huge fail. I'll stick to my way. All right, half the avocado cut up, half the avocado attacked with my thumb. I think this is the side that I'm gonna use. Cilantro cut up, avocado cut up. Those are the only things that we needed to like cut up or prepare. So now we're gonna start cooking our chorizo. And I'm gonna do this a little bit different. You can cook your chorizo and your egg together, which I'm gonna do, you guys are gonna see, but I'm also gonna add the onion into that as well. Now you could have fresh onion on top, adds a little bit more crunch. I'm gonna add the onion into the chorizo and egg mix a little bit towards the end, just to make it a little bit softer. So I got my chorizo in there, just kind of spreading it around, letting that cook a little bit. Chorizo is actually one of my very favorite things to make for breakfast. I will just make chorizo and eggs and have it all of the time. One of my favorite. We talked about in a recent video, Sherri's not a big chorizo fan because some chorizos can be spicy. One thing I do want to do, maybe this summer actually, is make my own chorizo. I actually recently found a chorizo, a homemade chorizo recipe that honestly didn't look that difficult. I've never made my own chorizo. I just like always buy these containers of it at the store. So I'd love to try making my own. Chorizo's looking really good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just add a handful of onions in there. Just like that. And if these were, so I just bought these because convenience. If I was actually dicing these myself, I'd dice them much smaller and probably put them on top of the breakfast tacos fresh. But since these are a little bit bigger, I'm just gonna cook them because in a breakfast taco, a big bite of onion can be, well, it can be a lot. Now I know the breakfast tacos are popular all throughout Texas, especially in the Austin area where I first found them. And if any of you are watching this, don't get mad at me, because I don't know how Texans are with their breakfast tacos. Maybe there's like a specific way you're supposed to make these and you don't think these are like authentic or legit. Let me know in the comments below. How do you make your breakfast tacos? But this is how I make mine. Okay, something's going on with this avocado. Auburn just had a little piece of it and she was like, taste this. And so I did. That's not good. Like, I'm not eating that. So I'm gonna call an audible. No avocado on the breakfast taco. But obviously you could put it on yours. So I think the chorizo is looking pretty darn perfect. So now what I'm gonna do is kind of spread it out a little bit flat here. And then I'm gonna crack some eggs right on top. So I cooked my chorizo mostly thoroughly. Now this is a little bit difficult because the chorizo that I used, it can be difficult to tell because it doesn't like change color. So what I'm looking for is a consistency thing. I'm looking for it to be kind of crumbly. Like that looks pretty good to me. You can also see in some spots it's starting to brown on the bottom. So
you don't want it to look sticky.
Exactly.
I use the same chorizo and you really don't want it to look sticky because that's when it's still raw.
Yes. So, what do you think, Auburn? This look good?
Yeah, I think it looks good.
Perfect. Now, I'm gonna crack some eggs right on top. If you follow me on Instagram, on my Legg account, this is my Instagram moment. Because I love the way that this looks when you've got the eggs on top of the chorizo. I just think it's great. So we're gonna add 3 eggs in there, just like so. I'm gonna let that cook for just a minute and then we're gonna mix it all together. All right, so I'm going to steal one of Auburn's trademarks because now it's time to stir, stir, stir. This is my favorite. Honestly, if I had a plate, well, I do have a plate, I could just have this for breakfast. And a lot of mornings I do. This is one of my go-to breakfasts.
You could probably do this on like regular bread for a breakfast sandwich too if you wanted.
That's a great idea.
Or in a, what is it, pita?
Uh-huh.
For breakfast pita?
Yep. What if you could even do this over like cauliflower rice? Mm-hmm. Yeah, for like a breakfast bowl. And remember, since the chorizo is cooked, all that we're really doing with this is just making sure that egg that's in there is all cooked. This is gonna be so good.
It smells delicious.
I love the way chorizo smells. I think that is pretty good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat off on the burner.
Okay, so you just drained your cheese.
Yes.
Why?
The queso fresco sometimes has a little bit of water in there. And this, I love this cheese. I love the flavor of it. But what we're gonna do is like break off a piece, and it's super crumbly.
Okay.
But I just drained a little bit of water because it would have gotten everywhere.
Okay, so it's messy if you don't drain it.
Exactly. So now I'm gonna build.
That over the sink.
I did it over the sink.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I normally would not do that. So now I'm gonna build the first taco. Now what I'm gonna do, again, do this in any order you want. I'm gonna do a base of the chorizo and egg and onion. Now one of my biggest problems in life is that I always overfill my tacos.
I do the same thing.
Breakfast tacos, all tacos. For whatever reason, I just overfill them. So I'm going meat. I'm gonna go a little bit of the pico. I'm sure there's a correct order of this, like maybe I should have done the cheese first because it would have melted it. I don't know.
I think queso fresco always goes on top.
Well, that's kind of how I felt.
I don't think it matters what else is on the taco. Queso fresco goes on top.
So we're gonna do, that's not enough.
No.
That's even not enough. Okay, cilantro. I'm gonna go a little crumble of the queso fresco, maybe. Okay, there's that. And then I like spice, and so I'm gonna put a little bit of this Serrano green sauce on there, but it is spicy, so I'm not gonna go crazy. And just like that, we have a chorizo and egg breakfast taco. It looks pretty, right?
How many is in a serving? How many would you have for breakfast?
I will have 2 for breakfast.
Would you eat the skillet of chorizo and eggs, or would you save it for later?
Not by myself, I'd save it for later. Yeah, I would save it for later.
For lunch.
Yeah, and again, because Sherri doesn't like chorizo, when I make this, I always get a couple meals out of it.
Nice.
Yeah, so now, time to try it. I already know it's gonna be good. I'm just excited to get to eat it. It's really good.
Does it need lime or beans or potatoes or?
So the one I had in Texas, the first one I had potatoes in there, and I really liked the potatoes. It just adds another element. I think beans would do that as well. But for like a keto breakfast, this is packed with flavor. That sauce adds
Serrano condiment.
Like a good amount of heat.
It's so cute.
I love it.
It's teeny tiny.
I'd never used it before. Found it in the store. I knew I wanted like a green Serrano sauce, so that was perfect. So there you go, chorizo and eggs breakfast tacos. Simple and delicious. So I'm gonna go finish my breakfast. I think Auburn is going to make hers as well. I'm not gonna put a link to a recipe down below because there's not really one. I kind of gave it to you guys. Remember, there's lots of other things that you could add in this. As Auburn mentioned, potatoes, you could do beans, you could do lime, you could do, I don't know, you could do that like avocado cream sauce that we made in a recipe recently over the top of this. It would probably be helpful for you to buy non-crappy avocados, which I did not do. The avocado would have been delicious on this. You can also, oh, I see what Auburn's doing. You're so smart.
What am I doing?
You're gonna heat up your tortillas in the cast iron.
No, I was gonna heat them over the open flame.
She's so smart, ladies and gentlemen. So Auburn's gonna heat up her tortillas. You could do that as well. Lots of ways to customize this to whatever you like. So simple, quick, keto or not keto, however you wanna make it. Friends, love you guys so much. Thanks for being a part of our LeggLife community, and we'll see you tomorrow on the next LeggLife video.